What happens to this when destructuring JavaScript methods? Imagine you have a toolbox full of tools, and you decide to take out one specific tool to use it separately. Now, think of JavaScript objects as that toolbox and methods as the tools inside. When you pick a method out of an object using destructuring, something interesting happens. In JavaScript, object destructuring lets you grab properties from an object and store them in variables quickly. If one of those properties is a method, you can do something like const method name is equal to some object. This creates a new variable called method name that points to the function inside the object. But here is the catch. This does not keep the method connected to the original object. Methods in JavaScript often relying on this keyword to access data inside the object. When you destructure a method like this, the function no longer has the original object as its context. So, if the method uses this, it might not work as expected. For example, if you have an object with a method that returns this value, destructuring that method and calling it separately will likely return undefined or cause an error. This happens because the function is just a reference now, not bound to the object. When you call it, this is not pointing to the object anymore. In strict mode, this will be undefined. In non-strict mode, it might point to the global object, which is usually not what you want. To fix this, you can bind the method to the object before destructuring. For example, const getValue is equal to obj getValue bind obj. This creates a new function with this permanently set to obj. Alternatively, you can call the method directly from the object without destructuring, like obj_getValue. If the method is inherited through the prototype chain, destructuring still works fine because JavaScript looks up the property along the prototype chain. But if you try to destructure from a primitive like a number or string, JavaScript wraps the primitive in an object temporarily, so destructuring still works for methods like toFixed or toUpperCase. However, if you try to destructure from null or undefined, JavaScript throws a type error because these values cannot be converted into objects. Understanding how destructuring affects methods is key to writing bug-free code. Always consider if the method depends on the object context. If it does, bind it first or call it directly from the object. This way, you keep this pointing to the right place and avoid unexpected errors. Knowing this helps you work smarter with objects, classes, and functions in JavaScript.